Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. It is day 5 of spooky Halloween tutorials doing makeup and body paint. Today we are doing this creepy big ol' mouth grin with nasty teeth and full-on drool. It looks intense, but I guarantee this is something that even you can do. Alright guys, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Please give this video a big thumbs up, share it if you want to. That always helps me out and I love it when you do. And if you hit the bell, you'll get notifications anytime I post a new video. There will be photos of this at the end of the video. This is a look that does much better in photos because you're blacking out your background and you're blacking out your mouth. Guys, let's roll right into this tutorial. So once we have our face mapped out, we want to add the teeth. I'm just going to go into my Miron palette and get a white that's mixed with a tiny bit of a orangey yellow just to get like a yellowy tooth effect. And it's okay if you don't have the color, we can always go back and add some. So to make a tooth, you're just going to kind of make it shaped like a teardrop. That's the best way to describe it. You want to stay away from the corners of your nose because that will be harder to hide the nose when we black it out. We want to make sure that the nose looks completely blacked out. I'm going to draw a second line right above here so we have like a gum line between the teeth and the grin itself. It's not going to be too thick, just enough. Now going in with a pink paint, I'm just going to fill in that line we drew to make the gum line. Once you have the gum line in, you want to also bring that down to any open spots between the teeth. Don't worry about mistakes. We're going to go in with a lot of shading and color here soon, so it can be a little messy and it'll be fine. Just think of your own teeth and how your gums sit around the teeth. If you need to, look at a mirror because you are the perfect picture to look at. With just a paintbrush and a contour shade or any brown that's not too dark, you want to start shading around the tops of the teeth near the gum lines. And you can bring that down a little bit too if you wanted to kind of make the tooth gross and yucky looking, because this is a big ugly face, so he doesn't have pretty teeth, you know what I'm saying? If you want to just scrunch them up with just a hair more, you can go in with a yellow paint or a shadow and just add a little bit more detail to each one of these teeth. Now using another angled paintbrush, I'm going to pick up a matte black shadow and just kind of hit the edges of the teeth. And using a small flat paintbrush, I'm going to pick up a matte black. This one's coming out of the Jaclyn Hill Volume 1 palette. And we're just going to kind of go around the teeth just a little bit where it hits the gum. I'm going into my Glam Light Ice Cream palette. I'm going to pick up the shade Raspberry because it's a little darker than the pink that we used for the gums. And I'm just going to kind of set that and kind of buff out that black a little bit with it, just to help make everything look even and not too harsh. So now we're going to take some black base paint. Mine is water activated, but you can use any kind you want. And you're going to start with a fine paintbrush to go around the teeth. Now if you find that your teeth aren't pointy enough, this is a great time to go ahead and fix them. Take your time doing this part around the teeth because you don't want to mess any of this up. And then use a bigger brush to clean up and black out the middle of your mouth. Once you've blacked out the mouth, you want to take a black matte shadow and just put that all over the paint, because when you take photos, the paint will give some flashback and look shiny. So adding the shadow on top is going to help matte it down so that you'll be like pitch black in your photo, which will help with the overall effect of what we're trying to do. Now, taking a small paintbrush, we're just going to add some highlights to our gum line by just bringing a little white face paint above each tooth. And then we're going to highlight some of those teeth also just by adding a little white to each tooth also. This will help give the illusion that they're wet and continue to help make them look gross. So with a very fine paintbrush, I'm dipping into the white face paint and we're making some drool. Now I know this seems like it's probably gonna be hard, but it's probably the easiest part that you'll do of this whole design. So what I like to do is I just start with like a circle somewhere in the black. It's okay if it's filled in a little bit because that just kind of helps with the effect. And then somewhere around the tooth or the gum line, you want to have like a drizzle come down and go just past that. And you just let the paint come off the brush. So even if there's less on one end, that's going to help as you're dragging it. It's going to give that effect of grossness and drool. So I'm just going to go back up to where we started that first line, just go slightly above it and curve it a little bit. And have that come down past our bubble. And just let those little bits of paint that are left on the hairs of the brush come down. And now we have spit. So we're going to do that all over the mouth in different spots. Doesn't have to be perfect, just wherever you feel like some nasty ass drool should be. So now I'm going to take my e.l.f. concealer, and mine is in Fair Warm, and I'm just going to take that all around the mouth just to kind of help make it look a little lifted and not so flat with the paint. And we're also going to add a little bit between those curves we made to kind of give it the grinning effect. We're going to go in with some shadow there too, but the highlight will also help. Now I'm going to go in with a medium toned brown, and I'm just going to kind of find spots where I want it to look a little lifted, and we're going to add that for the shadow to make it look like it's lifting. I'm going to do that in a few spots around the face as well, just above the concealer line we made. Then where we want it to be even more lifted, we're going to go in with a deeper tone and just buff that in as well. We've gone ahead and added a little black paint to the upper part of the gum, between the gum and the lip line, and then we're just smudging that out with a little bit of black shadow, and that's going to help lift the skin up so that it looks like the gum is further back behind. And then just do that all the way around the mouth. You can get a little deeper in some of the back areas where the mouth would be pulled more. And then on a big fluffy brush, I'm going to pick up a little bit of that black and kind of dab it on those back teeth because they would have more of a shadow on them. And I might go in and add a little bit more drool on them as well. And that's it. Your creepy big grin smile, nasty tooth, drool everywhere look is complete. This is definitely one that looks better in pictures, and when you have your background blacked out, I'll add some to the end of this video just so you can see. But let me know how you liked this video. Do you think you would recreate this? Try it out. My favorite part of the whole thing is the drool because it looks so difficult but is so simple to do. Alright guys, that makes day number 5 of our spooky Halloween tutorial videos. A couple more days left. What are you hoping to see come up next? Leave me a comment about that down below. But if you do recreate this using my tutorial, make sure you tag me on Instagram or Twitter. My handle is right here. It's the same at both. And until next time guys, in fact that's tomorrow, Bye.